So look, I have waited and I have waited and I have waited, and I assumed after SmackDown Live, WWE would actually give me a card for the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. But they have not. There's only 4 matches out there. But we've got to predict the thing. Eventually, I'm just going to run out of time. Eventually, I'm going to be dead in the ground. And then what are we going to do? We're going to try and summon my corpse up from the dirt and get him to predict things you don't want to see, that you tune in, you'd be like, this is disgusting. So we're going to do a lot of guessing for the Hell in a Cell show, but I'll do my best. My name is Tyrone Miller. Welcome to WhatCulture Wrestling. Hell in a Cell is Sunday. Let's do what we can. We will start with Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns taking on Luke Harper and Erick Rowan. And I think given the last few weeks, all of these ideas, all of these plans that actually it's going to turn out that Daniel Bryan was the mastermind behind all of this have to go out the window, because that would not make any sense. I've seen him attack Erick Rowan, I've seen him attack Luke Harper, and not in The Rock tax Vince McMahon in 1998 way, when it turned out they were all in cahoots, and obviously The Rock won the WWE Championship at the Survivor Series. This is I hate you, you've screwed me over, I am Daniel Bryan, I am going to whip your ass kind of a vibe. So you can't go back on that now, WWE, and if you do, my brain will probably melt onto the floor. That is kind of a shame, because it means the once planned Daniel Bryan versus Roman Reigns match isn't going to happen. I think in 2019, that could be a big deal, but it also means there is only one obvious winner when it comes to these pairings. It will be Roman, it will be Daniel, they will somehow get the victory over their evil, bad people. My worry is what happens with Luke Harper now, because if you go on Luke Harper's social media, be it Instagram or Twitter, he is taking shots at WWE like he's about to run out of bullets. So while he has been called back into the fold, I don't think he appreciated the fact they wouldn't give him a release earlier in the year and the fact they added 6 months to his contract. So in my world, what is going to happen is, again, the big dog and Mr. Yes Man get the 1, 2, 3, and then Luke Harper will just vanish again, and I would assume Erick Rowan just falls back into the mid-card. Now, that's not the end of the world. I do like Rowan, but I think he can actually bolster things up whether he falls on Raw or SmackDown. But it does mean that 6 months worth of story and 6 months worth of detective work by yours truly kind of ended on a little bit of a lull. So I hope I'm wrong with this, and I hope that WWE has one final twist in the tail, but I'm not overly confident with that. But yes, Daniel Bryan, Roman Reigns take the victory. Maybe somehow they still do work out that match. You could do face versus face. I mean, it's not like they've been getting along, but they are my thoughts. We're also going to get both women's belts defended, and the first is Charlotte Flair, who will be going after Bayley's SmackDown title. Now, if you did watch the first ever SmackDown on Fox, you will know that WWE is right behind Charlotte, as they have been for many years. So I would imagine this is the pay-per-view where we take the title off Bayley, we give it to Charlotte, and we start ramming home to anybody that is new, we really like this woman, please like her as well, which you should. She's very talented. I don't even think you need any shenanigans. You should let them go out there for 10, 15 minutes, or 45 minutes if you want. Again, we've only got 4 matches announced so far, but give them plenty of time, allow them to do their thing, and allow people to buy into the majesty of the SmackDown Women's title. Because that way, when Charlotte does win by tapping Bayley out, I would guess, to the figure 8, it's gonna help everybody. Yeah, I know that's the exact same finish we saw in the tag match on Saturday, but sometimes things just work. And if it worked there, why can't it work again a couple of days later? Not even a couple of days later, 24 hours later, 48 hours later, whatever it is. I said Saturday, not Saturday at all. SmackDown's on Fridays now, but it's because we do the ups and downs on Saturday. Look what you have done, WWE. You took the schedule and you burned it like Seth Rollins, and now I'm struggling to keep up and I'm rambling on like a madman. But yes, I don't think this is going to be too wacky or too crazy. I just think that Charlotte will get the win again after the figure 8. Bayley taps out, and I would assume these two then separate. Maybe you could do one more match at whatever the next pay-per-view is. Obviously not the Saudi Arabia show. Not allowed to do that, are we? Anyway, Charlotte, your new SmackDown Women's Champion. And I'm clearly going title-changing heavy as well, because when we get to Sasha Banks versus Becky Lynch, which is also happening in the Hell in a Cell for the Raw Women's Championship, well, I think you got to put that bad boy on Sasha Banks. I just think it makes perfect sense. Because if you don't, you do have to end this feud. Sasha can't get another match after, she wasn't able to do what she set out to do, but also it's really important that we justify Banks' heel turn. If you become a bad guy and you still can't get any wins and you still can't be victorious, it means you have made the wrong decision. Now, like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months down the line, you can look back and go, oh, I'm an absolute nerd, I'm an absolute geek, because the fans are meant to hate you. But if that happens at the very start, it's just like, Well, you're a massive Poindexter. That's what happened to Shinsuke Nakamura, don't forget. He had that big heel turn at WrestleMania and he was hitting AJ Styles in the ball, loved punching him in the penis, but where did it get him? Nowhere. Also, you are in the Hell in the Cell, so you can do a bunch of, oh my gosh, I can't believe they did that stuff. And also, as this will likely be after Charlotte versus Bayley, get Bayley out there to cause some shenanigans. She can be super pissed off that she lost her own belt, and there's always a way to get in the cage. I know everybody just gets in the cage nowadays. It's like, what is even the point of having this structure? Especially because it's the Demon's favorite structure. But I don't care. Just get the belt off Becky Lynch and put it on Sasha Banks so we can have a really cool story. Deep down, I don't actually think they are going to do that because with everything new on SmackDown, everything new on Raw, I think they see Becky Lynch as an important part of the cake, which she is. These are my predictions, and I think that makes it better long term so Becky can chase and eventually win it back. I'm going with the man losing. And that's that. We then get to our main event, actual real laugh there, which is Seth Rollins taking on the Fiend for the Universal Championship. Now, WWE, we have finally arrived. I saw your Twitter post the other day when you asked your fans, how do you think this match is going to end? And the three options were like pinfall, submission, or disqualification. That was me taking your disqualification answer as if it was my finger biting off the tip and spitting it onto the floor. And the reason I'm doing that is that you cannot in any world end this match on a DQ. There is only one way this has to finish, and that is with Bray Wyatt, the Fiend, being the new Universal Champion. Because here's the thing. I think if WWE doesn't do that, it would be a huge window into the fact that they're still not really listening to their audience. And I like Seth Rollins. I think he's an incredibly talented cat, but he doesn't need to be the champion right now. He doesn't have that much momentum because all of that momentum has gone on to Bray Wyatt. He's the man right now. Everybody is behind him. And if we don't finally say, okay, great, we're now pushing him to the moon where he can live, he can have a little house, he can have a little coffee every single day as he sits out there in space, it just goes to show no matter how much you get behind someone, no matter how much a wrestler puts into their character, we are always going to stay the course. And right now, in October 2019, it is not the time to stay the course. And that's right, I'm getting fired up by this, but I just think if we do some stupid thing where the ref calls it off because Bray Wyatt's beating up Seth Rollins too much, especially because it's in a Hell in a Cell where the whole point is you're meant to have hell, you cannot DQ someone. So please, WWE, I'm begging you, if I didn't fall out of the picture, if I didn't fall out of the screen, I'd actually get down on my knees. Let's just do something a little bit different and let's listen to the audience and go with what they want. Seth Rollins can win it back, you can do whatever after the fact, but let's use Hell in a Cell to build the Fiend up to be a dominant and successful champion that, does live alongside the likes of Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns and The Undertaker. Let's make him that guy, because why the hell not? Exactly. I don't even care if you want this to be a 2-minute thing. I really don't. The more dominant the Fiend looks, the more we can buy into that persona and go, well, who the hell is gonna stop that guy? I keep using the word hell. It's because it's like in my brain. It's like Pavlovian conditioning, because the pay-per-view is called Hell in a Cell. Now I'm just thinking about hell. But it will be hell if the Fiend doesn't win. And win the belt. None of this Scooby-Doo stuff. And I guess we should try and come up with some other matches that are going to be on the show. I mean, we'll probably do the New Day versus the Revival, because that's just what we do. If we don't do the New Day versus the Revival, maybe the world just implodes. Maybe that's actually what's holding everything together. We'll probably redo AJ Styles versus Cedric Alexander for the US title, even though there's no logic there whatsoever. But we do have somewhat of a feud. We'll probably do the OC versus the Viking Raiders for that exact same reason. It's like, well, they had something going on, and despite the OC losing all the time, we can throw them together, and we'll probably do a 205 Live match. I don't know what's going on with 205 Live, but Drew Gulak, he's a champ. He can be on the pre-show. Put him against, the Brian Kendrick. Does it even matter? And on top of that, we'll probably do Heavy Machinery versus Dolph Ziggler and Bobby Roode, because again, we've done it before, so why not do it again? I guess I need to predict them. Well, Bobby and Dolph, they'll retain. The Usos will win. AJ Styles will win. And yeah, the Viking Raiders will win. That's my random predictions for the rest of Hell in a Cell. You tell me, when was the last time we were 24 hours removed from a WWE pay-per-view and we only had 4 matches? And I know by the time this goes live, WWE is going to do their social media thing and they're going to release more. But look, eventually I got to draw a line, like I say, and I just got to get videos done. Otherwise, you'd never get the video. I'd just be sat here for my entire life waiting I don't want to live that way. I want to go out there and I want to seize the day. Now, don't forget to leave a comment below and let us know your Hell in a Cell predictions. And look, if you are watching this when more has been announced, get the conversation going down in the comments and we can do it that way. Like, share and subscribe. Head over to WhatCulture.com and read yourself some articles. Follow WhatCulture on Twitter, WhatCulture WWE. And watch more videos here on WhatCulture Wrestling. My name is Simon from WhatCulture, and I would presume that Braun Strowman will somehow be featured as well, simply because WWE likes Braun Strowman. I mean, he ain't gonna fight Tyson Fury. He's gonna do something on Raw. How nuts was that as well? Tyson Fury is now affiliated with the WWE. I mean, it just absolutely, I can't even fathom it. I mean, it's great, and it's awesome, and it's gonna get the mainstream interested. Tyson Fury is very good at getting headlines. But yeah, we'll do something with Braun Strowman on this show. Who else do they like? Nobody really. They kind of hate everybody in WWE. Maybe Shinsuke Nakamura. Maybe you can do Shinsuke Nakamura versus Ali. And once again, Shinsuke Nakamura will win that 1-2 after Sami Zayn interrupts. I've done my best. I've tried. I have no idea. Hell in a Cell is a very, very weird show because all the focus has been on SmackDown, which is now in the books. There's only one way to find out. Watch the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view tomorrow and make sure you watch the reaction show live here on WhatCulture Wrestling. Do it.